everybody, and welcome back to this mini tutorial series on how to get Cornbelt up and running from scratch. In the last episode I showed you how to get the seed factory up and running and producing seeds, but there is one thing I need to pick up on that I actually forgot to mention at the end of the last episode. When you actually get the seed and you transport it on the train, people have been asking me what you actually do with it next, and I actually forgot to mention what you do with it next. So I will just run quickly through that with you now, because you start off with these two chaser bins anyway, so I don't use them for the fields, so I just use them for the seed and fertilizer. So what you have to do is you go down to the station storage where you dropped off the seed and the seed or fertilizer when you've got the fertilizer, and you go underneath this pipe here and you fill it up from there. And if you want to, you can also transport it in a trailer if you want to, and I will show you where you can store those that as well. Just go round back where you just came from. But this only works with the trailer, I believe. I don't think you can actually unload where I'm about to show you with the chaser bin. But if you can, I haven't been able to get it to work. But basically all you do is you come up here and you've got one for your seed and one for your fertilizer. I'm not sure which one's seed. I think this one is the seed, and the second one there is for your fertilizer. Yeah, that probably would be fertilizer because I don't have any fertilizer in storage. So I think the first one there is the seed and this second one is the fertilizer. Right, so now that's cleared up, what I'm gonna do is this tutorial was meant to be about the fertilizer production, but well, I'm at the fertilizer factory at the moment. But the thing is what you need to do first before you can get the fertilizer up and running is you need slurry or manure, no sorry, slurry and manure, or slurry or digestate and manure or compost. And the compost is produced from the refinery. So I am going to show you how to get the refinery up and running, and then in the next episode, because otherwise it would just take too long, because it'll take about an hour in total to do everything that you need, like with the transporting and all that sort of thing. So I was going to nip across here, doesn't matter. So here we have the refinery on the right hand side here, but to get that into production you need crude oil, and this is what you needed the soybeans for. So if you've already planted a field of soybeans like I suggested in the first video, then you should have plenty of soybeans to bring down to the silo at the seed factory. Now this this journey along here, it's a bit of a long one in this truck. This is why usually I leave this truck up at the oil wells, because otherwise it would just take too long to bring it all the way down here with the crude oil in. But there's a storage point up by the oil wells anyway, with a train point where you can just load from the train. But as you can see, there's these fields are quite big. I mean, this looks like sugar beets in this field here, and I only had a small portion of field 34 that I planted with sugar beets, and I got 2,100,000 litres, I think it was, and it was nowhere near the size of this field. So this field's probably talking 40 million litres, something like that, which I think is a bit ridiculous, unless you've got a million pigs and you need that amount of sugar beets for their pig food. But yeah, I wouldn't plant sugar beets in a field that size. And see, unfortunately, this is the only way that I have found to get across the river, at this side of the river anyway, from the oil refinery, apart from by train, and it's quite a distance. It's just going a little bit, because it'll go a bit funny when I go under the bridge here. So usually it goes and puts the camera down, but with these bridges, for some reason, you just go through, and it's a bit strange when you go through the walls. But as you can see just up on the mini map there now, the little white arrow, that's one of your oil wells. And just go up here, and I'm using the road train pack again, because, well, I think it's just the best mod for this particular job, to be honest. So what you have to do, you have to drive to the oil wells, which all this is produced over time as well. So you don't have to pay anything, you don't have to put any products into it, it's all done automatically. All you have to do is collect it. So you just go up to here and collect. And just wait for that to load. I think you get about 20,000 per oil well, something like that. But there is one other oil well which is a little bit bigger, and I think that gives you a little bit more. Wait for it to fill up. Well, this is giving me a bit more. It's 26. Maybe it's 30,000 each one then. Yeah, 30,000. So that one's full now. That one's empty now, sorry. And as you can see, what I do is I press the overload button to unload it from the pump, and then I pump it straight into the one behind, and you'll see in a second when that one disappears, it'll show you that the front one is empty, because as you can see it should be counting down. Oh no, it's not counting down. Press R and see that's counting down, but it's actually going into this one. So you only really need to have the front one empty, because you can empty if you're short on space or whatever. Right, now we get a long journey up to the next one. You can go back down onto the road, but you have to go all the way around, and I found it's just as quick going this way, to be honest. It's a little bit bumpy, but it's not too bad. And there's the railway that runs through, well, one of the railways that run through. And I do like the way they've done the sides there to make it look like it's real, basically. As you can see there, the front one is now empty, so all the stuff that was in the first one is now in the back one. And now you just have to go up to the next one. Ooh. Bit bumpy across there. But this one actually has 3 points to collect the crude oil from. Yeah, as you can see, there's one just here on the left, and another one in the middle there, and then another one a little bit further up. But these ones, I think they hold a total of 30,000 roughly between them. So it's not all in the same one, because these are obviously smaller than the big one, the one big one. That's that one done. And just wait for these to fill up. And well, once I've done the see, there's only a little bit in there, but once I've done this this part of the tutorial, the crude oil part of it and the refinery, you'll see what I mean about how long it takes, because I haven't been able to get Courseplay to do some of the parts that I needed, because like I said, you need slurry and compost or manure. But I found the only way you can transport those is by road, and I tried to set up a Courseplay course to drop off the slurry and or the digestate, and well, it just wouldn't tip for some reason. It wouldn't unload. So I don't know if that's a problem with the truck and trailer combo that I was using, or whether it's a problem with the course being too long. or whether it's just a problem with the tip triggers on the map, I'm not too sure. But you can tip manually, but if you want to sort it out and have it running automatically using course play, then well, you can't basically. And we have to bring the crude oil back here, but I just want to go and collect from the other oil well first, just so I can show you guys where it is. But I mean, as you can see, I mean, it's well, we're 15 minutes into the video already, and I haven't even collected the crude oil yet. So this is what I was saying about the length of time that you actually need, so you can do the production. Just load that one up now. And there you can see we got 74,499 litres of crude oil. Not bad for free, really. And because you can actually sell the crude oil as well if you want to, but I've found it a lot easier, not for me anyway, to use it to make fuel and compost and stuff, because you're always going to need the fertilizer, because it's really expensive if you have to buy it and keep filling up the big bud every 5 minutes. It's not a cheap thing to do, is it? Alright, so what we have to do with this now is drop it off here. You go to this point here, unload point here, you unload that into here, and as you can see, that will be filling up. And then how it works is it sort of filters through time over to the other side onto the rail track. As you can see, that one's empty. Right, so turn that engine off, and as that's filling up, we'll skip to the train. And the only thing really that takes the time in the production of the seed and the fertilizer and things is the transport. The transport times are ridiculous because of the size of the map. It takes forever to actually get anywhere. I mean, I still haven't explored any of the map really, apart from the areas that are needed to go to, like the seed factory and the shop and that type of places. And apart from that, most of my time has been spent around the farm. yeah, as you can see, it's this river. It splits into three, and like I said, I've only found one other way across by road, but not to the particular where you need to be, which is like in the top left of the minimap now. I haven't found another way across to by road. But I do think the map maker did it deliberately, because I think he wanted everybody to be using the train system and stuff, which I'm assuming is why there's so many trains. But I do enjoy playing this map. I mean, it gets a little bit frustrating sometimes when you try to do a course play course and it takes like 15-20 minutes just to drive the course, and then once you run the course it doesn't work properly, so you have to record it again. I mean, one day I spent something like 4.5 hours just setting up and resetting up course play courses, which is a bit crazy. But we're just coming up to the refinery now, but I have to go past the refinery to get back up to the silo that I've just dropped the crude oil off. I didn't actually realise the train was where it was. But yeah, like I say, it takes a long time to actually get anywhere on this map. I mean, I suppose it is quicker by the train, but yeah, it still takes a long time. But yeah, guys, you leave me a comment down in the comment section below. Tell me what you think of this map, because I enjoy playing it. Or if you found a different way of doing things that I do, I'd be happy to listen to your comments. Or if you have any other questions, if I can answer them, I will. But I mean, the thing is playing this map would be pretty easy if you just cheated a load of money in and done that sort of thing. But that's not really the way to play, I don't think, because if you cheated like £10 million in, bought all the equipment, bought all the fields and whatever, then what's the goal of the game? There's nothing to achieve at the end of it, really, is there? I mean, because I don't play just to get loads and loads of money. I play because I enjoy playing the game. Which I'm sure goes for a lot of my viewers as well. I mean, I'm not saying the money mod is not to be used, but I mean that's what it's there for, because it's everybody plays differently. So if somebody wants to cheat in £10 million and go and buy all the fields, then that's completely up to them. I'm just saying that I don't do that. Because there's no right way or wrong way to play this game. It's just however the person playing wants to play, and that's fine. I mean, as you can see, we're just coming up to the oil wells. I mean, you can like leave the train here and go between the oil wells if you want to, and just stop it at the side of on the track, and then overload straight to the train. But I found it easy doing it this way, to be honest, because you have to drive the train up to the point wherever you want to load it, and then you have to drive the truck up there as well. So it's taking you twice as long, really. So now we just go into here. You don't have to change any of these signals or anything, it's done automatically. And see, this is where you would store your fuel as well, there. Or, you just go to this first one here. As you can see, it's got 158,333 litres in. So you just line up with the pipe there. And there it starts filling. You just press R and it starts filling. But this holds, each one of these again I think holds about 90,000 litres, but I'm not going to fill them all up, because just for the purpose of this video, actually I'll just stop that there, because it does take a while to fill up. So what you do, well, you can go forward if you want to and go all the way around, but it does take a long time. So from there to the oil refinery, I just reverse. I know you wouldn't really see a train driving like this that have an engine on the back and one on the front, if I would imagine, but it's only a game. And the thing is if I went the correct way, this video would probably be about an hour and a half long, because you have to go all the way up, all the way around. You have to go across the river again, and then back down to the farm, and then all the way back over the river again, and then back. So it would take quite a while. But yeah, like I said, I do like the way they've cut out the railway track there. I mean, I don't know if this this map's been done from a Google image or or not, but I like it. I really like it. I mean, I have been doing some live streams on this this particular map as well. Don't know if any of you guys have seen those. There should be some more coming out soon in the future. Yeah, as you can see, it's it is a long journey. I mean, so if you've got all these full up with crude oil or fuel, how many is there? I think there's 5 or 6. 1, 2. Let's go from under the bridge first. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think that is. So 6 90s is what, 720? No, my maths is terrible. That's not right, is it? Anyway, it's a lot. So if you wanted to transport that by road, you would need quite a lot of containers to pull it, because you wouldn't get one trailer pulling it all. Right, so here we are now. What we have to do with this is, if it slows down, you have to drop this off at the refinery here. You've got the unload point just coming up here. And we're in the first one. So you go to this section here. As you can see, you've got the unload symbol now, and just unload that. And that is that part of it. And as you can see just here on the left side there, this is where you would be dumping your soybeans or your canola or your sunflowers, whichever you have planted. So we go to the road train pack. There we go, and then we have to go and pick up. Might be to let go up. There you go. And we have to go to this main silo again. I'm sure you guys will remember it from the last video. And pick up our soybeans or canola or sunflowers. I only have soybeans here at the minute, I think. Have I? There we go. Yeah, soybeans. So grab them soybeans. I might as well empty it. Yeah, there we go. That's fine. And then we just take these over to the refinery. And then as soon as you've loaded it up into the refinery, the the fuel starts being produced and the compost, which is what you need for your fertilizer, which is the reason I did this part of the video, part of the tutorial first, because you need the compost for the actual fertilizer, unless you have the manure mod or something like that, but I wouldn't suggest using the manure mod because well, you have to pay for the manure in there, so it's not very profitable. So what you do is you just load that into there, and as you can see, that's loading in. And if we jump out, press F1, there's a player trigger here somewhere, and it tells you, there you go. Now I'm not sure what that says, but the first one is obviously the crop that you put in. The second one is the number 2 is the crude oil that's in there, so you can see I've got 24% of crude oil. And the products at the bottom, obviously you've got your fuel and compost. And the fuel, well, I'll show you where the compost is produced first. But I won't be going through the I won't be doing anything with the compost at the minute in this video, because that'll be for the next part of the tutorial. Now the compost is here. This is where the compost is produced, so you just get that and load it up. But for this video, what I do want to show you is what you actually do with the fuel once it's been produced. So we start up the video, start up the train. And you go to this point here. I'm only going this way because I want to go to on the first tanker. So you go to that point there, and you fill up your fuel here. Again, I won't fill it all the way up. Fill it for about 20,000. Yeah, that'll do. Just for demonstration purposes. And then you go off and you take this to your farm, because there's a big storage facility at the farm for your fuel. And I'm trying to not miss anything out if I can help it this time. So when we drop it off at the farm, I will show you what you need to do with the fuel, so you can actually use it on the farm yourself for your vehicles and things. But to do that, you will need the universal coating pack, and I will be putting a link down in the description for that if anybody needs that, because otherwise you will not be able to transport it around your farm. When I have tried to use other add-ons and mods and things for to try and overload it, but it doesn't seem to work. So I just stick with the coating pack, and that works great for me. And as you can see, it's a lot of backwards and forwards and backwards and forwards, and it can get a bit tedious if you have to do it for too long. But the idea, I suppose, is to get a good production underway and then take it all in like one go, which is why I used the train, and I took something like 500,000 litres down to of crop down to the silo at the fertiliser and seed facilities, because I thought, well, it's pointless to just taking a little bit down there and then going down there again at another time. I just took it all down together. As you can see there now, the main farm is just up on the right hand side of the other side of the river. But the only problem is we have to go away from it up here and then up and round. It's a bit of a long-winded process. But yeah, I mean, if you're finding these tutorials useful, please just drop me a comment in the comment section below and tell me what you think. And a thumbs up would be nice, so that way at least I know that people like what I'm doing. So I believe you can actually sell the fuel if you get an access of it, but I'm not 100% sure where at the moment. But as soon as I find out if you can do it, I will let you guys know. Because like I say, I mean, I've been playing this map for a while now, but I still haven't explored a great deal of the map just because it's so big. Yeah, we're just coming up to the main farm now, just over this bridge. And see, there's two split offs there. One is the one for the main silo, and this one here is just for the fuel storage. You have to be careful not to overshoot with these trains, because as we all know, they take a long time to slow down. As you can see, the unload point is just coming up there. and you should see the unload icon appear in a second. There we go, and you just unload that. Oh, let's turn off that engine shower, we don't need that anymore. And as you can see, this is the storage facility for your fuel, and I have 135,689 litres. Now what you do with that, well you don't do anything with it from here, you just leave it there and it filters through to the main storage on the farm. So we just run over here. As you can see, there's the seed storage. You just run over to here. See, because the main storage holds I think it's 750,000 litres, 700 or 750,000 litres, and then that filters through to here, which is at full capacity, 75,000 litres at the minute. And then what you do with that then is you get up to the main farm and go and pick up my my trailer. There he is on the old trusty JCB. Now basically all you need to do with this is go down to this this tanker here and load it up with the fuel. Press R, have it fill up. As you can see, it's filling up now. And then once that's as full as you want it, or you can fill it to capacity if you want to, it's entirely up to you. You just take it up to the main farmyard and you've got your main fuel here. This is where you refill your vehicles here, but if you go a little bit further along, and I think that should be about there, there you go, and it just unloads into there. And as you can see, you can see it filling up there. So I have 191,200, no, yeah, a lot. Is that actually that can't be 19 million, can it? No, it can't be 19 million. I don't know what the red numbers are for. It says 191,285. And basically guys, that's how you get the refinery up and running. And in the next video, that will be the fertilizer factory, because like I said, I didn't cover it in this video because you need the compost from the refinery first before you actually can produce the fertilizer, so I thought I'd cover this first just to be just to show you. But yeah, look out for the next one. That should be in a couple of days time. And yeah, if you haven't already, please consider liking and subscribing, and leave a comment in the comment section below if you've got any questions for me, and if I can answer them, I will. And until next time, thank you all for watching, and bye bye for now.